Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope you're well. It's been a while since I've done a fragrance haul video, so I figured let's do a fragrance haul video. See that? That's big brain. We got a little bit of something for everybody here today. We got some expensive fragrances, some niche fragrances, some designer fragrances, some cologne fragrances. There's a lot of fragrances here. That's right, I'm gonna be talking to you guys today about the new Xerjoff Tony Iommi, the new Louis Vuitton Lovers, a couple random clone fragrances, and also the brand new Esquire fragrances. Esquire fragrances. All of these will be linked in the description. Feel free to check them out there. And as always, guys, here are some codes you can use to save yourself a little money, including new codes for JOMASHOP and the Oud store, and the other codes, those still work. So let's just go right to left and start with the Esquire bunch. There they be. So these fragrances are actually a collaboration between Michael Malul, who you may know because I also have collaborated with Michael Malul.
Shameless self-promotion.
So my fragrances, South Slope, Edgewater, West Loop, Jet Black Enigma, and Terra Nova, available at every Perfumania and every fragrance outlet store in the country, assuming you're in the United States anyway. Or you can order them online at Michael Malul's website, and they do ship internationally there, and that will be linked in the description, and there's also a code with that. So Esquire, as I said, is a collab between Michael Malul and, yes, Esquire. So they have 4 fragrances here in this collection: modern poet, editor-in-chief, new journalist, and American novelist. And actually, I have them right here. Let's get those situated. Now, I cracked these open when they came in, gave them one spray, but haven't actually really delved deep into these. So let's kind of check them out here together. Kind of like my first time, but not exactly, but kind of. Now, I had nothing to do with these whatsoever. I didn't smell these while they were being created. I had no input, nothing like that. So this is solely between Michael Ja Rule and Esquire. So let's check out Modern Poet first. They do have the notes on the back of the box, and those are lemon, gin, grapefruit, citron, and olibanum, green matcha, cardamom, and geranium, and then vetiver, moss, patchouli, sandalwood, fir balsam, and amber. Do like the bottle style here. It's that kind of like modern, minimalistic, classy looking bottle, you know, somewhat like a shape along the lines of a Bleu de Chanel or something like that, but then a nice design on the side. And also have that little line that goes around the bottom of the bottle as well. Little E for Esquire on top, sticker on the bottom, and the atomizer, nice and pressurized. With this one, you can take a look at the color of the bottle of the box and know right away it's gonna be a green fragrance, and it is. It smells great off the top to my taste. Really green, refreshing, brisk, lively. It has kind of a sparkle to it. You get all that citrus mixing together with the gin, which gives it that kind of like fizzy pop. A little bit of tartness from the citrus, you know, a little touch of rindiness, but not overdone. Then a really nice modern woodiness as it dries. You get a little touch of that green matcha. It's not overbearing. It's just really kind of like an accent note, kind of along the periphery. And then the cardamom has some nice sweetness, more of a green cardamom, not like a really super warm, you know, rich, spicy cardamom. Keeps things fresh, and yeah, there's a little bit of sweet spiciness to it. It's just not like a nighttime type of cardamom, if that makes any sense. Really well done. It's almost like you took, I don't know, bits and pieces of Terre d'Hermès Eau Givré, sweetened it up a little bit, and added a bit more green to it. At least initially, that's how it smells. Then it kind of quickly goes its own direction. Really, really, really excellent stuff, though. That's very well done. After that, we have Editor-in-Chief. This one has a top of clove, cinnamon, and apple, mid of cashmere wood, orris, labdanum, patchouli, and vetiver, and a base of sandalwood, upcycled cedar wood, vanilla, birch wood, and tonka bean. And this one is done by Richard Erpon, friend of the channel, friend of the meat. This one smells really good too. Rich, warm, sweet, little touch of like smokiness that wafts through off the top, I would imagine from the birch. A little hint of vanilla. The orris is there in small amounts, so it doesn't come across overly powdery, creamy, or anything. Yeah, woody, spicy, a little smoky. The sweetness from the opening fades a little bit as it starts to dry. Classy, sexy, good for the evening. Yeah, that stuff's banging too. Not sure which one I like more. It's not even apples to apples. They're kind of completely different things. So I don't know if that's fair to pick one as better than the other. Yeah, just totally different usages. All right, let's just go on to New Journalist. This one has a top of sparkling lemon, mandarin splash, and apple leaf, mid of blue lavender, geranium mist, and lotus, and a base of vetiver sandalwood and ambroxan. So obviously giving across with that note breakdown and bottle and everything blue fragrance vibes. Let's get it going. So yeah, this one's a blue fragrance. Soapy, clean, sweet. Not too sweet, but you know, just like that little citrusy sweetness that you get off the top. This is one of those ones that you smell it and you're kind of like, oh, it's reminiscent of a few things here or there. I would have to get like some of those fragrances and start doing a side-by-side comparison. But this is gonna give you that clean lavender, fresh citrus, like I said, a little bit of soapiness vibes, ambroxany base. Probably easier to wear just in a day-to-day situation than these two, but to my own personal taste, I would take these two over this one. But then I think like somebody who's just getting into fragrances, who wants something easy to wear day to day, they would actually probably prefer this over these. But for now, I'm sticking these two at the top kind of with each other. Like I said, they're two totally different things. It's not apples to apples, but I think I would go with this spring, summer, this fall, winter. That's kind of like year round, I guess. Even though a lot of people wouldn't wear blue fragrances in winter necessarily, I know the vast majority of people actually do. And this last one has Italian bergamot, fresh juniper, and wild mint in the top, clary sage, basil leather in the mid, and then upcycled cedarwood, moss, and pine Siberian in the base. And this one's called American Novelist. I don't remember if I said the name of that one, New Journalist, if I didn't. Interesting, two of these have upcycled cedarwood. That's pretty nice. Yeah, it's like very fresh off the top. Aromatic as well, but it doesn't come across really green. Not in the same way as Modern Poet anyway. And it has a nice little bit of sweetness underneath everything to where it's not like a focal point, but it helps give some depth to that fresh open. Yeah, like that would be a super solid day-to-day fragrance. I know it's like kind of two different things, but I would wear this over a New Journalist, I think. Look, this is easily the easiest wearing of the four, just as far as if you were just getting started with stuff, this would be a banger. And it could be that this sells the best of all four. Like that wouldn't surprise me. But this has like a little more classiness to it while still having day-to-day wearability. It's a little bit more interesting. That's pretty freaking good. Exciting, fearless, daring, it says. Friendly, approachable, authentic. Okay. Honest, bold, brave, inspirational, innovative, provocative. I like this a lot. I think editor-in-chief, best for fall and winter, best for evenings. The smokiness is very light. It's got good depth to it. It smells really good. Especially if you like fragrances that are kind of woody, spicy with a nice sweet touch to them. Again, not overly sweet, just a little bit. Again, sweet touch. That's really, really well done. Modern Poet, green, fresh, sweet. Now it's starting to remind me a little bit of like a fresher Cartier Declaration, something like that. Yeah, kind of in that style. Smells really nice, very well done. New Journalist, like Polo Blue-esque. Not the eau de toilette, just kind of in that overall family style and fragrances along that path. Super easy to wear, like I said. An American Novelist, I like that. That's really good. That's an all-day, classy, sexy, modern, masculine fragrance. Maybe really young guys wouldn't go for it because it doesn't have a ton of sweetness to it, just like a little bit underneath, and it's not the focal point, but that's really well done. That's really, really good. So I think for me, favorites are probably these two, then this one, then this one. None of them are bad. All of them actually really good quality. And New Journalist smells very nice. It's just, I think of the four, if I were picking like which one I like the most. Let's move on. Louis Vuitton Lovers is up next. So this one I saw like a little bit of blowback because Pharrell was the creative director behind it, but I don't care. I mean, if the fragrance is good, the fragrance is good. And Pharrell knows what he's doing, so. I like the look of the bottle. Has a cool kind of pearlescent finish to it. Obviously see-through, but with a pearlescent coating to it. So this one is woody, fresh, green. It's got a good amount of galbanum in there, which you can pick up as soon as you spray this stuff on. And that's gonna give you that green pop off the top when you first smell this one. Pretty obvious. You know, it's one of those things where it hits your nose right away. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, got it. But it's also, even though it has like a touch of bitterness to it, it's also very fresh. It reminds you of being outdoors in a field, you know, in the middle of summer or late spring or something like that. It's got a nice classy edge to it, that woodiness in here, very modern, with a little throwback touch to it as well. Some people have said that it reminds them of Santal 33, but to me, not a huge amount. Santal 33, much more focused on that sandalwood with a bit of creaminess, and to some people it can come across smelling pickly, a little pickled. I don't get that from this personally. And it's been compared to Gris Charnel as well from BDK, but I find this one to be fresher overall, with more of like a biting, like tart touch off the top, and then fresh spices that kind of pop up and fizzle as well. Fizzle and sizzle. And I think it actually smells really nice. Wearable, quality is good. It comes across maybe like a little simplistic in a way, but to be fair, a lot of Louis Vuitton fragrances do, and I don't mean that in a negative way. What I mean by that is they kind of hit you with what they are, and as they dry down, there's little changes to that overall scent profile, but it's not something where you're gonna get like a big opening that changes drastically into the mid and changes drastically into the dry down. It's kind of one of those things where it's like they nail how they want that scent profile to come across, and then they convey that through the life of the fragrance, and it comes across in kind of a similar way, opening through dry down. Like I said, there will be little changes, but it's not one of those ones that's like, whoa, so different from the opening to the mid, to this, to that, to that. They kind of simplify that idea and perfect it and pop it out into their releases sometimes, and that's what this does, but it does it in a really nice way. I like it. I think it smells really nice, and that's ultimately all that I care about. Then we have Lumiere L. This is from French Avenue, which is Fragrance World. I have not opened this one up. I also got Lumiere Garçon. Opened that one first for kind of obvious reasons. It was in a blue box and it's called Garçon, so I'm like, that's gotta be for guys, right? This one I feel is for the ladies, but you know. So the presentation, nice and large, and the bottle has a big fuzzy cap. The box also is fuzzy. I'm not overall like a huge fan of that actually. It's like a weird texture that I kind of hate. But this being French Avenue slash Fragrance World, you know, it's a clone. So the question is, what is it? Is it any good? We'll see. That is strong off the rip here. Let's let that sit for a second. Just like really potent white florals. Yep, let's I want to do a new strip here. Maybe less sprays. That is strong. Man, that is like, whew. That is unholy off of the strip. Honkin' strong. So a lot of white florals. Stellar Times is what this is a clone of. Louis Vuitton. Yeah. It's kind of interesting. Louis Vuitton, kind of. I've been kind of caught unaware. I didn't expect that level of push off of the strip, and it just really is powerful. Obviously, I've not sprayed this on skin and worn it, but it starts to smooth out a little bit as it dries here, but this just opens apocalyptically strong with the white florals, especially like over there, that one that I blasted like whatever, 4 times, 4 or 5, however many it was. Maybe it was only 3, I feel like it was at least 4. But that one was like way strong. Now it's smoothing out a little bit, still has that floral aspect quite clearly, but now it's taking on a smoother, sweet scent profile, melding together with those white florals so it doesn't come across quite as like aggressive. Because when you have those notes, sometimes white floral notes, depending on what we're talking about and how it's used, they can come across just strong. Sometimes a little bit animalic, a little bit indolic. It's smoothing out, like I said, it's getting a little sweetness to it, which is helping take the edge off. As I recall Stellar Times, it's actually really close. To be fair, it has been a little bit since I've smelled that one. But this is like that, and you take the volume knob and just crank it to 11. Just a freaking beast. So monstrous Stellar Times. After that, Neon. This is from Intelligent Shop. This is More Plates, More Dates, another YouTuber, their fragrance brand. And this one, I know what it is. I took this out and sprayed it on you know, just a couple times, and I was like, oh, okay. This is Bleecker Street. This is a super duper obvious Bleecker Street dupe. I do like that bottle. It's pretty cool. It is indeed neon. Whew, it just ramped up, man. It's like Bleecker Street on roids, which I don't mind, actually. I really like Bleecker Street, one of my favorites. Ralph Lauren purple label, also similar to that. So you get that green grassiness off the top, you know, that very fresh opening. Get a little more blueberry, I think, popping through on this one than Bleecker Street. Because Bleecker Street is a little bit lighter on the sweetness, maybe even the freshness off the top than this one is. This is like taking those aspects of the fragrance, kind of switching them around a little bit, taking that grassiness, dialing it down just a little bit, taking that sweetness, ramping it up a little bit. Very fresh, uplifting, bright, perfect for spring, good for summer. I actually like this a lot, which, to be fair, I love Bleecker Street too, so you know, it's not much of a stretch to say, hey, here is a clone of Bleecker Street, and you know, these are the changes I made. Do you like it? I'm probably gonna like it, unless you botched the thing, and that one's not botched. So that one, ooh, nice. Really nice Bleecker Street alternative. And last we have Xerjoff. Ooh, Iommi Deified. Yes, very cool. So of course, you know, with it being Xerjoff, you gotta have that nice presentation. So we got the outer box, you got the inner box. You open up the inner box, there's stuff that falls out. You got a nice little velvet thing. Ooh, a nice little cutout, and your bottle sits right in there. Look at that. Ooh. Ow! It like clamped down somehow and pinched my thumb to where it was just like a tiny little bit of skin just getting smashed between the Xerjoff box. Bottle looks cool. Got all kinds of little skulls on there. Whoa, that's metal. Then you have the name on the front here. It says tap to connect right here. I have not tried that, but I would assume you tap your phone to the little sticker here and it connects you to the Xerjoff website. Maybe it connects you to the little music video they did. It's out there shredding on some guitars. It's nice, strong. It is strong, which you would expect. Kind of a sweet leather rose fragrance. I like the opening. You get a nice sweet apple, touch of cinnamon in there, some saffron. But as it dries, it really is mainly for me about that leather rose combination. You have a little patchouli in there as it dries down as well, add some nice depth to the fragrance. It is definitely a masculine leaning scent. Again, at least to me, a great performance as I mentioned before. I think between this one and the first one that they did in collaboration, I would take the first. Monkey Special had a lot of cool things going on with it that I really dug, like the passion fruit that's in there, that kind of caramel sweetness, but it still maintains a dark edge as it dries. A nice booziness to that one as well. So between Monkey Special and Deified, again, just kind of off first impressions, I would roll with Monkey Special, but this is a solid release. I really enjoy it. I've worn it a couple times. As I said, you don't need many sprays with this stuff, especially right now where it's in summertime. I've not gone out. You know, I've sprayed this on when I'm staying home. I think it would choke some people out, but it's good. It'd be a solid fall, wintertime fragrance, daytime, evening. It's gonna be pricey because it's a Xerjoff, but it's a solid follow-up. It does have like an addictive sweetness. The way that rose comes across, like really just want to keep going back and smelling that. So there we go, guys. There are some of the fragrances I've gotten in here recently. None of them are flops, thankfully, because I did have another video that I shot a little while back. It was like 10 fragrances that I couldn't resist purchasing here recently. And at least half of those were like, not so great. But these, nice. Some of them are strong, like way strong. But hey, I'd rather take that than Sauvage Eau Forte. Dang, I think American Novelist slaps. I should have left the other ones up here. I'm such a dope. Tester strips. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with these two, American Novelist and Editor-in-Chief. Editor-in-Chief is good. That's a cozy one, man. That's a cozy, sexy scent as that dries down. Modern Poet has good push. Still gives me a reminiscence of like something Cartier would do or Hermes would do, something in that style. A New Journalist. I'm gonna stick with, I think, the soapy polo blue kind of, but these two, man, yeah, those freaking rule. All right, that'll do it for me. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.